Bam.
Sick.
Sasha Varigan reporting live here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, hosting the Epic Chords Mastery, the Producer Code online workshop here with a bunch of amazing individuals. Evan, where are you located, man?
Well, I'm living in Flin Flon, Manitoba at the moment.
No way.
I grew up in Vancouver though, like I'm from Vancouver.
Holy smokes, man.
I inherited my grandma's house up here.
Okay.
So
wow.
I took everything and moved up here, and that was like 13 years ago, something like that.
No way.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. Manitoba. We're representing some decent geography here. Like we've got Evan representing Manitoba, central. Like, is it central Canada? I guess ish.
Yeah, it is central.
Yeah. And we got Liam, who's in the. Liam, I'd love to have you introduce yourself to these gentlemen. I met Liam at this amazing event in West Vancouver. It's called the Lucid Mansion, and it was a sound healing event. My friend was hosting, and I played music. I played piano for it with these incredible sound healing bowls, these big tuned crystal bowls, and I was a bit nervous, but I just totally intuitively improvised this whole entire thing. It was like, wow. It was so cool. And Liam was there. Yeah, Liam was there. It was a really special event. I'd love to have you share a little bit about yourself and how we met.
Yeah, I'm just a guy. I grew up out in the Kootenays here.
Nice. Yeah.
Around Nelson. And
hometown.
From a young age, I've been playing guitar and bass.
Sweet.
And yeah, I was lucky to have pretty musical friends too, so I had a good base of people to bounce ideas off of. So awesome. That was great. Yeah, and yeah, I've kind of went off my path a little bit with my music, but I'm trying to get back into it.
What style? Like what style do you normally choose?
I used to play like a lot of rock and punk rock and stuff like that. And I made my own like music and stuff like that. And I've
cool.
I like playing like Latin type stuff too, actually.
Oh, that's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's my jam.
That's awesome. That's my jam.
I like minor chords a lot.
Yeah, man. Minor. All right. Liam, it's so great that you joined us. This is quite impromptu. And so
great.
Johan from Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, man.
Sí, señor. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
I swear, man, you'd be such an excellent voice actor for stuff. Like, your voice is amazing. You're good. You have such
Radio 5.1. Para bailar.
It's so great, man.
My Mexico radio voice.
You forgot what one thing there, yo. That's
there you go. Well, that's why you show up, on the cowboy hat,
So cool. Well, it's Evan's birthday. I gotta do it. I'm not gonna sing and totally just ruin this song, but I'm gonna try pull this off again.
Neither will I. Don't worry.
All right, Evan. It's just how young are you? How old are you? What's
I've turned 28 for the last 17 years or something.
Okay. Hey, I like your attitude.
You're an infinite, eternal being like all of us, so
Exactly.
It's awesome, man. Well, this is to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I knew I'd mess it up. Something like that. I don't know. I'm just messing
That's
around.
that's amazing, man. Hey, so how long have you been playing piano for? All your life, I'm sure.
Yes, as early as I could. Yeah, as I could since I was 5. So I'm gonna dive into this a little bit. If you guys mind, do I just dive into this?
Okay.
I'm happy to kind of keep it a bit informal too.
Whatever you want, man. Your show.
Yeah, cool. Because then you'll know how many years.
Okay,
I'll
sorry,
tell you.
I'm jumping ahead here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise at how
What
old I
happens
am.
at the end?
Oh no, yeah. So it's so funny. Like this is impromptu. Like I'm really, this is like my passion. Music has been, just an absolute gift, sacred, precious, magical, wonderful thing. And over the years here, I've somehow found myself here in a position to share this type of wizardly knowledge with others and created Epic Chords Mastery. And this is like a foundational program that I created to empower people, awakening artists on how to consciously create chord progressions in 90 minutes or less without wasting time guessing on what sounds good or searching endlessly on YouTube. Oh my God, all the marketing is over with. Okay. So I'm going to dive in. I just want to thank you guys, congratulate you for showing up, because 80% of success is really just showing up. Like sometimes we don't want to show up in life, and it's just like, if you just like get your butt out there, and like magic can happen. So I want to acknowledge you guys for that. So thank you. You might be going, well, what the hell? Like, what am I doing here? Am I in the right place? I don't know where everyone's level is at. Like, it's like playing D&D. Are you a level 1? Or are you a level 5? Or are you like an epic level? Like, I don't know, right? Like
I'm a level 2 taking a look at it.
level 2. Nice. Okay, Liam, if you were like, D&D in this, like what level are you? Like, what do you think?
I don't know, probably like a 5.
That's pretty dang good. Nice, man. Okay, nice. And how about yourself there, mister?
I'd say I'm a level 20 wannabe wizard.
Nice. Okay.
Wannabe wizard.
So, in this course, yeah, I got you. So if you're a beginner, if you're like a level 2, taking a look at it, or you're a level 5, there's going to be value here, I believe. And even if you're a little bit more experienced, you may get some different nuances and perspectives. This is a foundational program. It's not my epic, actual tier 1 product my coaching program. This is a foundational course, but it's still focused on some fundamental stuff. It's fantastic. So a little bit about me. Here, that's the answer to your question. A little bit about me. I'm actually from Nelson, BC. Liam is out in that general area. And, I am a human being. I'm not just some type of, face, like whatever. I grew up in Nelson in a dysfunctional split family. And, I'm like a small town boy. But yeah, like in that dysfunction that I grew up in, not feeling safe or welcome in one of my own homes and stuff. It just I was a brilliant kid, was awesome at everything I tried, but I ended up getting into the wrong path, and quickly figured out that escaping, alcohol was a great solution to all of my problems until it became the problem, drugs and alcohol. So I realized I had to change one thing in my life, and that was everything. And, that was a really humbling moment. And in that journey, it was a beautiful awakening. In the process, I decided also, I was so clear on what I didn't want to do for the rest of my life, which was working in kitchens. I don't know if anyone's worked in a restaurant, but yeah. So like, I remember just being covered in grease and just nasty shit. And I was smoking a cigarette, and I could smell the garbage wafting from the, it's just gross. I'm just exhausted emotionally, spiritually, physically. I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life, And it was in that moment when I decided, I was like, I'm going to, what can I do? I got to do something. I'm going to go to music school. What am I good at? I'm good at music, I think. Everyone says I'm good. So I went to Selkirk.
Oh, sorry. You went to which music?
Yeah, actually, I was in Nelson. I went to the Selkirk Music College, the Contemporary Music and Technology program in Selkirk College in Nelson. And Berkeley, from Boston, the jazz program there, that university created that college.
No way.
So
I didn't know that.
so it's actually the exact same, you know, first and second year university level jazz, Berkeley jazz education. Yeah.
Holy crap. That's
Yes.
amazing.
So I
Yeah.
did that. And I double majored in performance and composition. Well, they don't even let you do that now, I guess, whatever. But it was in that college where I met my first true mentor, someone who like scared the shit out of me. I was so intimidated at how good he was. Gilles Parenteau, this French Canadian guy, just a true master. And he believed in me. You know, I became like miraculously one of the very best students he's ever taught in his 30 years of teaching, I guess, according to him. And he poured everything he knew into me. And it just transformed my entire life. Like I just went on a massive parabolic explosion of possibility. And that inspired me so much, you know, to just keep going. And then I moved to Vancouver and I did 2 more years at the Capilano Jazz program. And I majored in composition and arranging. So I was writing for jazz, 13-piece horn sections, big band, and doing vocal jazz arranging and stuff like that.
Wow.
But my real passion was actually film composing, doing whole massive symphonic orchestrations and like writing super epic, like Hans Zimmer, like John Williams, like, you know, Danny Elfman, James Horner, stuff like that, you know, Alan Silvestri, you know, like, you know, Gladiator, Lord of the Rings, you know, Star Wars, that kind of stuff. That's like my passion.
I heard some of the stuff you did there. That sounded pretty next level, man. That music composition.
Thank you so much.
Do you use like native instruments for a lot of your sounds, or?
I sure do. Yeah, I use some of them, but like I end up using a lot of Spitfire audio, like because I'm on the film scoring spectrum. Native instruments, I have complete 11. You know, there's now 14, right? You know, when there's like I have like about 75 different pieces of software instruments that I have not yet even installed in my computer. I have so many sound libraries. It's insane.
I too bought some native instruments. Remember you recommended? You're like, get native instruments. I reinstall. There's a little bit of fuckery with the installation of those programs, but
it takes
it's beautiful. Like it's
great, great sounds.
You know, like for me, I don't want to drag this whole thing about me out, but like it's an incredible story how the inception of Epic Chords Mastery, it wasn't my idea. It was like God. Was it odd or is it God? You know, I was a financial professional actually at the time when I took that shot there you see there. And one of my clients was a Canadian Idol finalist named Stephen Leckie. And he's super charismatic, ultra talented guy. And I sent him some of the music I produced and he was just like, dude, is that you? You made that? You did that? I was like, yeah, I did that. He's like, what the fuck are you doing selling insurance, man? He's like, what are you doing? You know, and then he's like, he calls me up. He's just like, what are you doing tomorrow night? I'm like, nothing. He's like, I'm playing at the River Rock Casino. I want you to play with me. I need to know by 5. Like, I was like, what? I haven't played in a band. Like, I've no rehearsals, no idea what these songs he's gonna do. I showed up. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing this. And then I just killed it. Like he hired some other guy the week before, and then he's like, dude, you're way better than this other guy we hired last week. What are you doing next weekend? It was so fun. And next thing you know, I'm playing at like 5-star hotels and all these cool places. But my soul stopped me dead in my tracks. And I was like, I can't do one more email sales call, you know, sales meeting, networking event, you know. And I was like, I can't do this. But anyways, he moved into a mansion with all these music producers. And he's not a producer. He was a music performer. He asked me to give him one music lesson. And so he could get his producer chops up. And I blew his fucking mind. And he told all his buddies in this house. And some of them were making 6-figure income, you know, producing music. And they're like, well, we want a fucking lesson with this guy. And I was like, well, really? Okay, shit. So I ended up like, you know, interviewing these guys. And then I started like doing one-on-ones with them. And I guess I was blowing their minds too. And they were like, dude, you have to do this. You have to do this for other music producers. Like, this is so needed. And this was like 5 years ago. Okay. And like now, since then, there was no online courses about music production and like theory. And I kind of missed the boat, but like, whatever, like I have something, you know, the guy who taught me, I feel like I can be that guy for other people, like to empower other awakening artists who want to unlock the matrix of music theory so they can like access, the power to create, music at a deeper and higher level. That's my mission with Epic Chords Mastery. And so this is it's sort of a little backstory, and hence the modern day wizard. I think I'm like probably in the epic levels to some, like I don't know what level I'm at. Like, I guess I'm up there, right?
Definitely epic, man. Like
I'd say you're level 100.
11, yeah, level 100 wizard.
Yeah, Magi.
Yeah, I think I'm getting up there. I think I'm at least in the 20s, but I had a great campaign. But I'm gonna jump into it, man. Like the main objective of this is I want, like, there's a lot of people, like I work with music producers, people who play bass, people who want to learn the language of music so they can play in the band and stop guessing what they're doing, get that shared language down. And then I call it the producer code, which is essentially the mathematics, the math of the music, some of the intervallic mathematics of the music. This is like, could be basic for some of you guys, could be review, it's fine. But the major scale blueprint and the first 3D structures of music, the triads, and then their inversions, and understanding how to utilize this consciously so you can create. And the idea is, like, at the end of this, you'll be able to consciously create chord progressions. And that's the whole thing I want to do. But first, I kind of want to get into a bit of a mindset. And for me, like how I got sober is like HOW. I became brutally honest with myself. My life wasn't working. I wasn't where I wanted to be. I had to become open, to the possibility of, something far greater than myself to exist, to, give me hope, or just a power greater than myself, like a creator, and become willing to accept, new ideas, to let go of old ideas, to accept change, be willing to, be supported in a process, by someone who's further down that journey from me. And that's why, I became good, is because I had a fucking amazing mentor and I invested into myself, like well over 10,000 hours of playing and 4 years of university level music theory and all this kind of shit, but like whatever. But the main thing is, like, most people don't even know how to learn. Like, this could be review for some of you guys, but if all knowledge was right here in this circle, there's this small sliver. It'd be way smaller than this. Is what you know that you know. Then there's what you don't know, which is a lot bigger than what you know. And then there's what you didn't even know you didn't even know. You know what I mean? And that's where all the fucking juicy possibility is, right? So, like, that's your first level of learning. Is like that's called unconscious incompetence. My dad was a teacher for 35 years. I said, yo, Pops, what are the 4 levels of learning? He's like, I don't know. He didn't even know. Like, man, you've been a teacher for fucking like almost 40 years and you don't know what the 4 levels of learning are? Come on, give me a break. So the first level is you don't know what you don't even know. That's unconscious incompetence. You're a kid, you're in a car seat. You don't know it. You have no words, no language. You're just there. You're just like, there you are. So I might introduce concepts you didn't even know you didn't even know. Then you're going to be like, now I know I didn't know that thing. Now you're at the second level. You're in conscious competence level. And then you just directly pole vault right into the level 3, conscious competence, where you got to use repetition. You got to slow things down. You got to really think about it until the point through repetition you become unconsciously competent, or that's where mastery lives, is in that 4th level. It's like, driving stick shift for the first time, parked at a red light on a hill. Someone's like behind you. You're like freaking out. Oh shit, Meanwhile, like after thousands of hours of driving, you're like eating a cheeseburger, like on your phone, like drinking this, like, changing the music. You're not even thinking about it, right? You're mastered it, right? So that's the same with music. It's maybe not as glorious in the beginning, but mastery is totally possible. The language of music, this is the whole point of what we're, this course is geared to. It's like, when you look at the language, everything is energy. This whole universe is a vibrational masterpiece, a symphonic, like, orchestration of creation, and it's all energy, and that energy is information. Information is language, and when you decode the language and you begin to become proficient with this language, whether in speaking it or like utilizing and applying this language, you access the power to create at a deeper and a higher level with music. And that's the whole point. For me, I'm so glad I went to university. Like some people are like, oh, I like just like kind of guess. I'm like, great. Yeah, sure. Like, that's fine. There's no right or wrong, but, for me, I wanted to go next level. So the language here is a fancy slide called enharmonics. So what is that word? What is enharmonics? It's a fancy name for, every note can have more than one name or symbol, right? So like C sharp can be D flat. B can actually be, or C can be B sharp. E can be F flat. F can be E sharp. There's enharmonic, those are enharmonically the same note, but there's a different name for that same note. So this might come up. I just wanted to cover it. It's kind of a fancy word, enharmonics. Each note can have more than one name. So it depends on what key we're in, what context we're in musically. And then the other thing is the whole steps and the half steps. So how I created the producer code is through half steps. And 2 half steps equals a whole step. So like from the distance between C to D, that's 2 half steps. That's a whole step, right? From D to E, that's another whole step. From E to F, though, that is a half step. From A to the A sharp or B flat, that's a half step. So 1 half step. From B to C, you got it. That's a 1. So basics, just the math of the intervals. Speaking of intervals, the definition of an interval is the distance between any 2 notes. And so I want to talk about intervals. We're going to actually just go through this quickly. I don't want to kick a dead horse, but I put it into producer, the piano MIDI roll kind of view. So you could just sort of see, these are all of the 12, there's 12 different, pitches, right? From C up to C. And they all have a different name. They all have a different color emotionally. They evoke a different emotional response viscerally in the body. There's a name, there's multiple names for some of these intervals. And there's also, the math of the distance, like how many half steps or whole steps or whatever between each note. And there's also a symbol. So in the white down under here is the symbol, right? Down here. And up here is going to be all of our, so I want to kind of quickly talk about this. This is kind of like a thing. I'm gonna share my screen differently here to a different view of something. I want you to tell me if you can see this. Can you see this piano here?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. So between C, the smallest distance between any 2 notes in this 12-tone matrix of Western theory is a minor second. Sounds kind of awful, doesn't it, right? Right?
Yep.
This is also a minor second. This is a minor second. That's just but watch this. Right? It can sound really gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
So these are different things that are going to come up in context. Out of context, this sounds like garbage, but in a context, right? It sounds like absolutely delicious.
Dude, this is the exact class that I need to take right now.
Really? This is so cool.
This is freaking amazing, dude.
I know, it's perfect timing, right? This is.
Man, I just got truth bumps. I got goosebumps all the way up my whole body. I was just like, wow. Amazing.
This is crazy, dude. This is the exact class I need to take.
Well,
hell yeah, me too.
I'm telling you, this is just all from my heart, but I didn't invent this information. I'm just here to be the messenger, right? And you could go on, just be a lone wolf and just go on YouTube and look at shit, or you can actively engage with someone who's actually mastered this shit, who's rooting for your fucking ultimate success and who's going to empower you. It's up to everything's a choice, right? Yeah. So I want to fly through this. So thank you so much for sharing that. I got I still have goosebumps. It's unbelievable. That's truth. When I hear truth, I call them truth bumps. So the next one is, that's a major second. Obviously that dissonance, that's dissonance. This is more consonant, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or now, so that's your major second, minor third, right? That's got a darker or a more sobering, kind of more contemplative energy. Right? That minor third versus, right? Major thirds. Major thirds. Right?
Yeah.
Whatever, like I could just fucking whatever. I'm just but major's happy, more like.
So yeah.
Right? Those are the minor intervals. Major, perfect fourth. These are open now, okay? Those are all perfect fourths stacked together. It has that really righteous upper, like, oh, it's like there's something powerful to the perfect intervals, right? Okay, it's going to evoke an openness and a power, a sense of power. Oh, now we get to the evil, the devil's fifth, the tritone. This is an augmented fourth. So if I switch back, you know, I'm going to switch back briefly because I want to show you the symbols, okay? So we've gone through the unison, right? Minor second, major second, right? More of a major third, major third, perfect fourth. And now we're in this. Now this one has three names, right? Tritone. What the fuck is that? What's an augmented fourth? What's a diminished fifth? Holy shit. There's like, whatever. These things, I don't expect you to just know all this stuff right away. I'm just going to talk about it. I don't expect you guys to just like, no, I know. No. We got to put this into context, into like a musical situation so it makes sense. Okay, so that tritone is very tense. Right? It's like all about tension and release, right? Like this whole dance of music, you're the conductor, you're the creator. You want to evoke an emotional response to someone. You need to understand how to weave consciously tension and release, dissonance, consonance, all that. And harmony is just when more than one note is being played simultaneously. And is it harmonious? Is it dissonant? Is it a combination of dissonance and harmony? Is it dense? Is it thick? Or is it open? Is it like whatever? Okay, so this tritone is like probably the most tense interval, and it's the fundamental. There's a whole seminar I could do just on this one fucking interval. I could do like an hour just to talk about this one thing, but I don't have an hour. So let's just say that it's a perfect fourth that's been augmented. So it's a sharp four. Notice this little symbol down here. Okay. That sharp, that means that perfect fourth is raised by a half step. So it's sharp, or it's a perfect fifth that is flat. So it's a flat five that's been diminished by a half step. It's all the same note. So it could be, for example, the next slide I could show you here. Could be an F sharp, or it could be a G flat. You see what I'm saying here? It's if you can read music too. I don't expect anyone here to be able to read music. It's fine, but that between C and F sharp or G flat and F sharp are the same enharmonically the same note. They're the same note, right? That's why I talked about enharmonics.
So when you say fourth, you're just saying four semitones up.
Actually, that's a good question. So here's the math. Underneath, there's 6 semitones. From C all the way to this F sharp is actually 6. So let's keep perfect question. So all under here in the blue is how many half steps between. So these are like the training wheels, okay? So if you want to just count, right, the exact number of half steps for an interval, I'm going to go back into, that's 6. If this is 0, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get to that tritone, okay? So I'm going to go into this view here, back into my nice piano mode here. So if this is 0, then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half steps.
Okay. It's
5 half steps, and it's all on the document. This is called the producer code, right? So from here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's only 2, 0. That's a 0, and then so it's 1. This is 2. A major second is 2. A minor third is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 for a major third, 5 for a perfect fourth, 6 for the tritone or augmented fourth or diminished fifth, and then 7. Now we're here at perfect fifth. Okay, is this cool? And then so we can hear, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't even know what it is. So the next, that's a perfect fifth. That's 7, right? 1. So if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is your minor 6. Sounds a little bit more sad, right? That minor 6th, right? That's like a beautifully sad and introspective interval versus the major 6th. Right? Those are like a happier sounding interval. And then you got your minor 7th. So you got that minor 7th thing could be like a dominant sound or whatever. So then we got your major 7th. So there, I have the math for all this stuff. Like that's just like you know, it can sound very beautiful if you couch it in. That's also another major 7th. So these are all like,
what would be the difference between a major 7th and a minor 7th? Is that just a semitone off?
Yeah, just it's just a flattened just by a half step. So a major 7th is like, if you count it all the way up, it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a real pain in the ass. Or you just go to the root below it and just, you know, boot it up an octave, right?
Okay.
Or you think the minor 7th is actually a whole step down. So this is what happens when you invert intervals. So I know I wanted to do a whole thing. I probably should talk about inverting intervals because they all equal to 9. It's the 9 grid, the 432 9 grid shit. I'll get all like getting into sacred stuff. Solfeggio mathematics and all the sacred math.
369.
Yeah, it gets into the 369 math and stuff. But
Cool.
I mean, I don't want to just blow everyone right out of the water right off the bat. But you know, it's just like it starts getting, you know. So your main thing is like you can just go down that half step and then invert it up, right? So you invert a minor 2nd, right? You end up getting a major 7th. So a minor 2nd, major, invert it, it's a 7th. 7 plus 2 is 9. Take a major 2nd, invert it, you get a minor 7th. 7 plus 2 is 9. You take a minor 3rd, you invert it, you get a major 6th. 3 plus 6 is 9. It's like fucking crazy, right? It's like this is really interesting shit. And then you take a major 3rd, invert that, you get a minor 6th. 3 plus 6 is 9. Take a perfect 4th, invert it, it's a perfect 5th. 5 plus 4 is 9. Right? 6 is an augmented, it's 4.5. So 4.5 plus 4.5 is 9. Fuck, whatever. Perfect 5th, invert that, it's a perfect 4th. 5 plus 4 is 9. Minor 6th turns into a major 3rd, right? Major 6th turns into a minor 3rd. Minor 7th turns into a major. They all add to 9. So when you invert them, it's really cool.
Mind blown. Boom.
Yeah,
gone.
this is like, it's part of the sacred math of the music. Yeah. So
yeah, mind blown.
This is cool. Yeah. So like, I don't want to milk. So this is like literally the language. So these intervals, it's like A, B, C, right? We take these intervals, we stack them together. We make our first words like dog, cat, you know, whatever, hat. Very simple, like 3-letter words, right? Like triads, right? Three note chords. But we need to understand the literally the language, the fundamental building blocks, the language of the music. So once we have this shared language, now you can start really consciously creating. Is this making sense?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is freaking awesome.
Cool. This is so cool. I hope it wasn't boring. I know we got the right audience when people are like actually like stoked on Intervals. So this is what the intervals will look like on a grand staff, on a treble clef, whatever. I don't expect you to just whatever. It's all good. So let's like start. I have cheat sheets. I've got this all into digital products. I'm happy, you know, to give you guys a copy of my ebook. You know, half an hour before I started this, I came up with 3 fucking absolutely brilliant ideas on how to make this even a way better course. And so like, and I didn't have the time to put all this shit into my webinar, but like, oh, I'm so excited. I want to put it in there. But so this is like the chart for the definition of these intervals. This is the language. This is the symbol for each of those intervals. Root, flat 2, major second, minor third, major third, all that kind of stuff. Augmented 4, sharp 4, or flat 5, or, you know, perfect 5th, minor 6. And then there's the number of half steps to find them. Does this make sense?
Kind of. It's a little small to see on this screen though.
Or are you on your phone? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hook you up the whole like the digital ebook or the slides or whatever. You can. Yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah. Okay, for sure.
You'll get that. Yeah. So now the next stage is we're going to start looking at the blueprint for the major scale. So pools of possibility. There's really only 7 notes in a scale, right? So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. And then the pattern repeats, right? So, but if you look under here, that's just all the white keys on the piano, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So you got a root, a major second, major third, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, major 6th, major 7th, and then an octave. So now that we studied some of these intervals, now we have, you can see down here, the actual intervals. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now we can start to go, great, well, now
I think for myself, it would, again, very visual, so having the piano keyboard, it would make more sense, because right now it doesn't fully make sense until I see a piano keyboard.
All white keys.
Okay.
See, Ionian, it tells you the name of the mode even. Ooh.
Right.
That's in my advanced class. We're not going to talk
Cool.
modes. But yeah, does that help, man?
Yeah, that makes more, like, it just, yeah, I wanted to see everything. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah. So, and then the other, thank you. I really appreciate that feedback and the insight. So I'll probably do another additional visual of this. But what I wanted to show you here is like the distance between each note, like from C to D is 2 half steps, right? From D to E is 2. So it's like from C to D is a whole step. From D to E is a whole step. From E to F is a half step. F to G is a whole step. You know, G to A, whole step. A to B, whole step. So there's only 2 places between the 3rd and the 4th scale degree. There's this, there's this half step, right? You see that? And then from the 7th degree and the octave, or the following root when it follows the pattern, from the B to the C, that major 7th to the octave, that's the only places. So that pattern, once you have this pattern, whole, half, whole, half, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. So you could just start, you know, somewhere else. You could start any key, right? So from C to D is a whole step. From D to E, another whole step. From E to F, right? And looks like I forgot that I already did the visual slide, Mr. Johan.
Oh, good. No, that's perfect. You got it.
So I forgot. I was like already ahead of myself back fucking 2 years ago.
It's all good.
So this is like the note names. Here's the symbol for the interval. Here's the producer code, how many half steps, you know, if you want to find them like that way. And this is the distance between each, you know, scale degree in the key of C. So 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, whole, half, whole, half. It's the same for every major key. Doesn't matter. There's 12 keys. So now that you know this, you know them all. Does that kind of give you like if you wanted to write in a major scale, right? There's only 7 notes. So we can start to build chords on each one of these scale degrees, right? So there's really the possibility for 7 chords. Yeah, you can plant a root on C, hit every other note. D, hit every other note, or E, you know, from the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, or the 4th chord, the 5 chord, the 6 chord, or the 7. I kind of ignore the 7 for a while because it forms a kind of a triad. But so if we wanted to, we'll come back to that. But like if we wanted to start on F, right? This is probably a better view, right? So in the key of F, there's a black note, right? Right? It's not this B, this B natural, it's actually this black key. So if you follow the same pattern from F, it's a whole step, would be to G. From G to A, it's got to be another whole. And from A, you have to have a half step at that point. Hello?
Yeah, this is very, very interesting.
So can I just ask a question here?
Yeah,
Like,
please.
so I'm super visual. Like, to me, it's all hieroglyphs, but you're breaking down the hieroglyphs for me, so I appreciate it. So when I see like on the piano, when I see the two black keys, the first white key starting, touching the first black key of the two starting is always a C.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right.
So on the piano, yeah. So like
piano, because like as long as I know my route, I won't get lost in the forest. You know, like because sometimes I don't know where the hell anything is.
Right.
And, you know,
this is actually good. This is good. I'm gonna make a note of this to kind of do a quick refresher on the piano itself of what notes are which, because that's a really great point. I'm sort of just assuming to say that people know what the notes are on the piano, and that might not necessarily be the case. But yeah, so the white key to the left of the two black keys is always C. So wherever that is, the white key to the left of the three black notes is always F, everywhere up on the piano. And so, you know, why I chose F, because it only has one black key, you know. It just thought it'd be a simpler example. But you can start the same pattern, you know, from F, you got to go whole step to G, whole step to A, half from A, from the third and the fourth, there's always a half step, right? And then we go from the fourth to the fifth is always whole, whole, whole. And then from the seventh degree to the octave above is always a half. So between that third and fourth scale degree and the seventh and the octave is always a half step, but everything else is a whole step. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. So you can start this from any key. I hear something. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna dive into. Can we go into the first 3D structures? Start building chords. Can we do that? Are you guys with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right. So the first there's this is like the true DNA of music. This is the first 3 structures, and there's 4 types of triads. What is a triad? It's just a 3-note chord. Has a root, a third, and some kind of third and some kind of fifth. Okay. So on the left-hand side, there's major and minor. Those are going to be the ones that we're mainly focused on. There are 2 other ones. We're not going to really be using them. I just want you to be aware of their existence, okay? I'm not going to go diving into the diminished and augmented chords, but I'm going to play, you know, major chords. C, E, G has a root, a major third, and a perfect fifth. So if you count, I'm going to go over here into, this might be review for level 5 cleric over there, I think. So and for level 20 something, I think he's got it. So anyways, so we got a root, a major,
you know
third.
What? I'm gonna demote myself from a level 20 to maybe level 10.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So that's cool. That's cool. Hey, you know what? I didn't. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and then it's we get a new point A, and it's cool to get clear on where we're at. It's awesome, man. Like you fucking. I heard you're great. I heard you're a killer music producer, so I'm really excited to know more about what you're up to and how you're dealing with stuff.
Thanks,
yeah, like so this here we got a root and a fifth. It's like a sandwich. You got your perfect fifth and some kind of a third, right? Right now we happen to have a major third, but instead if we flat that third by a half step, has a like that sad, right? Versus the happy, right? So those are the 2 that I wanted to stick with. I'm going to talk about the diminished and the augmented. The thing about the diminished and augmented, they don't have perfect fifths, right? So they either have a diminished fifth, which is a tritone, a flat 5, or an augmented fifth. So you take the perfect fifth and you raise it up by a half step. So an augmented major or an augmented triad has 2 major thirds stacked on each other. From C to E, from E to the G sharp is actually a major third, but it's showing an A flat, which sucks. It should say G sharp. That's the incorrect way of notating that particular note, because it makes no sense for that chord. So please disregard A flat. It should say G sharp. And so this is a very interesting, like, where it's a very open, spacey kind of like, right? Like trippy kind of thing, right? So like in blues, it'd be like, you know, right? There you go. You gotta use like a, you know, like they often like, when they get to that 5 chord, you know, like at the, that's just one way of using an augmented chord, right? But you could use it really like in spaced out like situations. It's like, it's really interesting shit, right? But then now you look at our diminished triad. Has 2 minor thirds stacked on each other. This dumbass software doesn't recognize when you're doing a proper chord to notate it in the proper enharmonic spelling. So it makes no musical, you know, contextual sense. That should say G flat, not F sharp. So this is a C diminished chord. Minor third, diminished, 5th. So it's just very, versus augmented, diminished. These are very out there chords. We're not going to be using them in popular music. They're generally not used. Okay, so I'm just talking about them. Now you know they exist. We're not going to like kick a dead horse here, but the diminished chords.
So I'm still not sure what diminished chords are, like as far as.
So here's a minor chord.
Yeah.
You just you diminish the 5th. You make a flat 5. So instead of I should say G flat, but it's showing F sharp. It's incorrect. Like it's showing you the wrong thing.
Yeah,
so
that's okay. I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah,
that's a good question, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, what's the difference between diminished and augmented? But
yeah. So the diminished is 2 minor thirds stacked on each other. It has a different feeling, right? From C to E flat is a minor third, and then from E flat to the G flat or the F sharp is another minor third.
So in the chord, the 5th note would be augmented, and you could go semitone up from there.
So yeah, so like in if you take a major triad and you just augment the 5th, like by raising it up, augmenting it is like raising the 5th. So now it's not a perfect 5th. That's your perfect 5th, right?
Right.
So I know this is why I kind of might not cover them in my next course. Is let's just keep it to major and minor. You know what I mean? Because all these questions come up and you're like, well, what the fuck is this? And what the fuck is that?
Well, you're like, the way I see it, you're like preparing a sandwich. You got like a stack of different possibilities, and you get, okay, you want some, you know, you're just stacking, you know, like a sandwich of music almost.
So this is like the basics for jazz music, right?
Yeah, so these are the basics for chords, all chords in general. We're going to start, like my Epic Chords Mastery course is all about how do you create like, you know, like you're like creating like fucking huge sick chords. Whatever, right?
I'm in, man, I'm in.
Yeah, so so you want richer sounds, or else you can be like, right? You can do triads, right? Hey, that's fine. But, or you could be like, you know, right? These are like epic chords, right?
Yeah,
or like, you know, right? You know, these are different, like, this is all fancy shit, but we got to start somewhere. So if we start with just the triads, then that's like your fundamental foundational stuff. And then you can start to build on that. So that's the whole purpose of this particular course.
So how do I play this on my didgeridoo?
Yeah. Well, you're gonna need 2 other didgeridooders. You're gonna need
All
some
right.
didgeridoodles to come and harmonize with you.
Bad
That's
joke, carry on.
yeah.
Didgeridoo-ders.
Didgeridoodles, hey,
Didgeridoodles,
yeah.
It's a new band, man. Let's run with it.
Right? Didgeridoodles. How may I direct your call? Hey, what's up? What's going on? So
That's awesome.
I got a cheat sheet for that. It shows you root, major third, perfect fifth for a major triad. Right? Those are the symbols inside of them. You know, I'm not going into chord symbols and stuff yet, but don't worry about it. Minor triad has a same thing, a root and a perfect fifth, but just has a different middle. It's like instead of ham, it's got cheese or whatever. You know, it's got a flat third or something. You know.
Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, that is instead of the ham. You know,
you got to translate, okay? Is it a ham sandwich with the,
what is it?
Or what?
What is it? Hey, what do you get? What you got in there? Okay? and let's just say fuck the diminished and augmented. Like, we're not going to go there. So what I want to talk to you guys about is the fact, because there's 3 different notes here in this triad as a root, a third, and a fifth, right? Now that means we can start to play these chords in a different order to, they're called inversions. And this is a key piece to master inversions till you die. So my teacher, he was so intimidating. He would just, this master, the guy, he would just be sitting next to me, breathing down my neck and be like, okay, you just list out a whole bunch of chords in front of me. Okay, now I need you to do all these chords in nearest inversion, essentially until you die, until you get it. Okay. And so like, it was awesome. Like I really got my shit together.
Actually, sorry, just to jump in, that reminds me, the one area of math when I was in high school that I did really well is geometry. And that's exactly what I think of in inversions when you see like, a triangle that can be flipped over. It's the same angle, same amount of math on either side, right?
Absolutely. This is cool. Yeah, and this is kind of the mathemagics of the music. There is math for sure, and symbols, and obviously then there's the kinesthetic aspect of integrating this into your muscle memory should you choose to create chops for yourself and get. But you can also just be a music producer who's like working in your DAW, and you can be drawing these notes directly into your piano MIDI roll, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I'll do an example. We're gonna make a chord progression here at the end of this. Okay, so C, E, and G, root, major third, perfect fifth. If I wanted to like draw it out from the distance between a C and an E, I need a major third that's 4 half steps up, to get that note. If I wanted to get a perfect fifth, that's 7 up to get that P5, that perfect fifth, right? So the cool thing is now I can bump the C up top and play this with the E in the bottom. So there's a chord symbol. That's the first inversion. I'm inverting the C up. So now the lowest note happens to be the third, which is the E in the bottom. So it goes E, G, C. So now the chord symbol for that would be C over E. And so that means the C triad is over the E. So the E is the lowest note. Does that make
sense? Can you play it on the piano real quick so we see a visual?
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, no, that 100%. And then the next one would be G. So I'm going to just show you. Right.
Oh, it sounds different. Yeah.
So root, major third, perfect fifth. You got them together. Now I'm going to take this C and move it up here. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm going to take the E and boot it up here. Now the G, the fifth is in the root, right? That's C over G. So you got. So, you can be like
G, C, G, C, yeah, like it.
Yeah.
Right? You're doing all this kind of shit, right? So all these different inversions, you don't want to always be playing your chords in root position because it starts to sound a little bit.
Yeah, it's easy to get locked in the triads, The
triad trap. Yeah.
Triad traps.
But it's important to master triads. Triads are fucking delicious. In fact, I just had an epiphany on how I could make this course sound way better, but I'm worried like maybe it'll be like a bonus, but so the triads are key. So the same thing with minor, right? You got the minor third down here. So it's like, okay, well, let's boot that root up top down. That's C minor over the E flat, which is C minor in its first inversion. Now let's move that E flat up top. Now we got C minor over G. That's the most powerful intervals. The most powerful inversion is always the second inversion. Over the fifth versus It's like in like, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. It's like, whatever, you know, it's like, it's right. It's a very powerful sounding interval, right? Anyways,
would there almost be like a second scale for intervals? Like it's a scale of its own, right?
well, it's not a scale. It's just like, it's just that there's only 3 notes and they can be played in a different order. And then there's a way to first of all, be aware of that. But you're going to want to, when you're doing a chord progression, sometimes do what's called nearest inversion. So there's a good top voice leading. So you're not jumping all around. Like, you know, you're there's a
like
smooth, the line is smoother, right? Because now instead of, you have other options on how to, it's called voice the chord or structure it in different types of inversions or different orders of notes. You can be clustered or open, but if you keep it in these basic triads, it's all in the key of C. That's the scale. There's only 7 notes, and we're only dealing with these 3 notes, and we can play them in different octaves or different registers and different orders.
All it is like Johan's analogy of food. It's like adding extra spice to the food that you're going to eat anyways, right? It tastes more delicious.
Well,
yeah,
check this out.
It's like the sauce, like like if you want sauces and stuff like that, accents.
So
it's fucking delicious.
I'm gonna do something here. Can you see my dog?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So it's Logic here, and then
Logic.
I'm gonna and just close this for now. So in here, I'm just gonna like write out a C triad, right? Just like, I'm gonna just draw the notes in C, and then E and G. Oh, that's so what's cool is, right? That's just like you know, right? That's those I'm gonna draw this out a bit more. All right, so that's just a basic C triad. I'm gonna increase the velocity, you know, makes it sound better. That's it. But now I can go, okay, great. Let's copy that. Let's put it over here. But let's just bump this note up an octave. So now you got, oh. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Different ways of voicing it, and then we can, you know, keep the party going, right? And just, you know, oh, this started on the, oh, was it on the 4th beat there or whatever? And then I guess I could whatever, paste this over here, and then take these 2 and bump them up. So first inversion, now second. Oh, I got my, right? So now we got different types of little inversions. And this is going to be helpful. You could just draw out a chord progression and then start to change the inversions instead of it jumping all over the place. You have a beautiful, that's where we're going to go. Okay. That's the idea. And then I want to get back into here. So the same thing for minor. The thing is, now that we understand what inversions are, is just a different way of you know, playing the chord in a different order. It's all the same notes are there. They're just in different registers or a different order. And there's a symbol for that. Okay. Is this helping?
Dude,
hell yeah.
I feel like I've jumped into the dimension where I needed to learn exactly what I needed to fucking know right now.
This is so great. Man, this is awesome, man. I love it.
I'm working with the same chords all the time, and I'm wondering like, fuck, where do I go, man? I'm stuck in a chord box. And this is like, holy shit, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have a complete transformation. So the whole goal of this is to create a total transformation in your ability to now, you're gonna access whole different vistas of sound. This is just the fundamental course. This is just my beginner's course. It wasn't even, I didn't even have this course. I just had my advanced course, but I realized some people need this in order to get to the advanced course, right? So like the advanced course is epic. I mean, that's why it's called Epic Chords fucking Mastery, man. It's called epic. So you can start to like, instead of, now you're going, we're starting to like know no more guessing. You're going to know which notes sound good, which ones to avoid in a chord, right? And you're going to learn all the different ways of voicing them. And oh my God, there's so many cool ways. I'm such a chord geek. It's ridiculous. So when we look at the key of C major, there's only 7 notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now we build a chord from each one of these scale degrees. Okay. From the 1, you have a C major chord, right? Just that's the symbol. C just means C major. D, the second one is going to be D minor. I'm going to do visual auditory examples. Okay. There's going to be visuals, then there's auditory. And the idea is then kinesthetically, it's up to you to start to play with this and then integrate it, or to start composing music with this stuff. Yes. Yes.
I got to start somewhere, baby.
So this might be a review.
Guy,
this might be a review for. I haven't heard from Liam. I know. Are you just zenning out? Are you doing all right? You doing good, man?
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. I'm just
cool.
Enjoying it. Yeah.
Nice. Great. Yeah. Awesome. So I'm, being informal, just my normal self, swearing here and there, and getting excited.
That's what makes it beautiful, man. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Good. This is awesome. This is so long overdue, you and me, Evan. I'm so glad that you're on here with us on your birthday. What an honor, actually, to have you invest your time here on your birthday. It's like a gift to yourself. This is like, I feel like this is my gift to you. I feel like this is.
You know what? I know this doesn't have to do much with music, but I just gonna say I was a little jealous when I saw you roller skating the other day with my bro.
Yeah,
man, I wish I was there.
Oh man, we had a blast, man. It was so fun.
Yeah, for sure.
For Krista's birthday. Yeah, it was super rad.
Well, Ev, you know what? You can make up for it by making some roller skating music, which I think you're already doing. So
I already started, man. I started a disco / trance mix, but it's not working.
Whatever. I will survive. Whatever.
Good answer.
Right.
70s guitar in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know how to play 70s music on the disco. Yeah, it's so funny. So this is the idea. Like this is a really critically important slide. Does it make sense how playing every other note in the key of C, so all the white notes, I'm going to show you on my other piano view. I'm actually going to, did I create another? Let me see. I did. Good. So this is just this is like what it would look like in, I made an error here. This should say 6. I'm going to have to change that. So 5, 6, and then 7, not 5, 7, and 8. Okay. My sincere apologies. So back here, you got your 1 major, your 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor. Let's ignore the 7th one. B diminished. We don't want to deal with the diminished chords. We're focusing on the first 6 scale degrees. That's what all pop music is built on. You got your 1 chord, your 4 chord, and your 5 chord are major chords. 1, 4, and 5 are always major. 1, 4, and 5 always major. Your 2, your 3, and your 6 chord that are built on the 2nd or the 3rd or the 6th scale degree are always minor. 2 minor, 3 minor, and 6 minor. So that's a fact. It's every single key that you ever produce or compose music or perform or play. If you're in a major key, because there's other modes and things, we're just looking at major. 1, 4, and 5 are always major. 2, 3, and 6 are always minor. Okay. So now I'm going to just do a quick example of playing that. So then it's in your ears and visually. So, right, that's on the C, the white note to the left of the 2 black keys. And then we're going to go every other note that happens to be a D minor, because that's a minor 3rd from D to F, right? Minor 3rd. The 2 pieces of bread, like the perfect 5ths, right? It's like your sandwich, right?
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Right?
Yeah.
The reason why we're not going to talk about that 7th one is because it has the tritone. It doesn't have a perfect 5th. There's no fucking F sharp in the key of C. That tritone is really important. but we're not going to get into the complexity of how that contextually makes sense from a musical theoretical perspective. We're just going to keep it simple. So we just add in a third, right? So 1 major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, and then we're going to say, sorry, 7. Sorry, diminished chord. That's what it would sound like, okay? So you can go, sometimes in our lives, we all have faith, right? They have sorrow. Right? It's just like the fucking, that's all it is. It's just all the chords. That's what they are. And so what we're going to do now is we know that we have triads, there's major, there's minor. We know that we can invert them. So you guys want to create a little bit of music with me right now? Is it cool?
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys want to start to apply some of this knowledge? Okay, so it's like, all right. Oh, this is a fancy slide. Anyways, the 1, 4, 5 is major. The 2, 3, 6 are minor. This is from my my advanced course. I probably should take this one out or change it, but the top 3 are major. There's 3 major, there's 3 minor, right? The 4, the 1, and the 5. So this is going, anyways, I won't explain this one. This is actually a really cool slide. I'll explain how this works like in the future. But I'll plant seeds for all the modes and stuff. When you start to learn the wizardry of modes, then you're going to be able to create moods. You're going to be the emotional mat. You're going to be conducting the emotions of your audience in a very consciously and powerful way.
Dude, that's a very interesting shape that you pick there.
Yeah.
That's a book I'm reading right now about Merkaba.
Is it the Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life by Drunvalo Melchizedek, Volume 1?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The purple book.
Yeah. That's a great one. I love that book.
That's the counter-rotating fields of geometric light bodies at like 9/10 speed light or whatever.
Yeah, dude. I'm reading that right now.
Yeah.
I read that one at from your mom's library and before Egypt. I remember.
Oh yeah.
I read that in my early 20s and it blew my mind. And then I started getting into modern alchemy and like.
Dude, that's crazy that you even knew what I was talking about.
Holy. Yeah, well, dude.
He's tapped in, man.
Dude, man.
Holy shit.
Man, dude. So what's cool? This is what we're gonna do. So like now you're gonna be able to consciously create. I give you the, there's the chords. The 1 is major. The 2 is minor. Here's the symbol. I'm using Roman numerals. 1 I, capital I for major. 1 major. Little 2 I's, right, for 2 minor. 3 little I's for the minor. The big I V, right, for the 4 major. The big V for the 5. The little VI for the 6 minor, right, because they're minor. Anyway, that's it doesn't always have to be that way, but it's just something that some people do. Here's your scale degrees to build the chords off of, and this is your codes. So you can build a root, some kind of a third, and some kind of a fifth. And here's the actual, half steps. If you really like, some guys are, they're in their mom's basement on their computer, and they're drawing this stuff into the MIDI roll. That's why I designed this course for someone who's just going to be able to draw this music into their doc. That's exactly what I do. Okay, well then this course it's specifically designed for you. That's what I'm saying. You're blowing my mind, dude. Well, dude, man, that's crazy. It's just why this is all. A lot of these guys, they're EDM producers. They're making sick beats, and they're guessing. They're wasting all this creative energy. They're stuck on the hamster wheel, doing the same shit, over and over again. That's me. That's me.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of knew that you guys needed to meet up. I've been kind of hinting to both of you guys, but now is the day of serendipity. The 20th. Well,
man, you're like my perfect ideal client. That's what you are. You're that's this is what this whole 12-week course was designed
to Evan's an amazing producer. He's created phenomenal music, and then Sasha's an amazing producer and composer, more on the piano side. So I knew that connecting you guys would
Yeah, man. You don't need to even be very proficient in theory to produce excellent music. But
I gotta thank you, Yo, for telling me about this course tonight, man. It's awesome.
For sure. Happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
This is so cool, man. Like, I'm just blown away. So I gotta give you guys a gift. This is called my top 10 chord progressions, like as if I made them, but like I just chose these. These are, I'm using Roman numerals. The first one is a 6, 4, 1, 5. The 1, 5, the 1, the 4, the 1 and the 5 are all major. Those are in capitals. The 6 is minor, right? So that's your classic hit song chord progression. Right? Where, you know, right? That's your like classic fucking hit song chord progression. The second one is like, you guys can just use these, use them to practice, whatever, produce beats, combine them in different, like in your form. Like I teach, you know, music composition and form. I have a whole section on that too, in my advanced stuff. But anyway, on the third one, I go from like the 1 major, or the second, let's do the second one. 1 major, right? So that's just all root positions, like 1 major to the 3 minor, to the 6 minor, to the 4 major. But now you know major, minor, you know the intervals. Now you can start to do different inversions, right? Whatever, like I could just do all kinds of shit. But I'm gonna pick one. The third one is whatever. 1, 5, 6, 4. Classic. I like number 4. I think I want to work with number 4. You start on the 6 minor chord. Or wait a minute. So 6 to the 1, 4, the 1. So I can make that sound really good.
Sorry, number 4 here.
Yeah.
Is that a 6 or is that a 5? Like the V?
This one here is a VI, so 5 plus 1, so 6.
I see. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. So like in little minor, so VI is 6.
Right. Yeah.
1,
Roman numerals, of
4.
course. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Right. Of course.
So I'm gonna give you guys. I give all my students, you know, and or anyone who does this. Normally, I used to, you know, charge for this course, but I just, you know, I wanted to get my my juices flowing, and I wanted to run through this, and I wanted to just, you know, give like as much value as I possibly could to anyone who was open and willing to participate. So this is all going to come with stuff. I'll send you all this stuff, but I like this number 4. So I just want to talk about, say, 6, 1. Oh, like we can make that one sound. There's all these tricks, and then I started playing, and I was like, oh, it just sounds just like, instead of just doing all root positions here, I'm going to go into our fancy little other piano view here.
So you can keep all this in the same key as of your song, right? Like let's say you had a minor song.
Yeah, so this is kind of a minor song. The 6 is the minor.
Right, so, but let's say you can throw in major chords into a minor song. Like would that sound?
Oh yeah, totally.
You could do that.
There's minor chords in a major key, yeah, and there's major chords in a minor key, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's cool is like I teach this in the next, like my next course, but you're like asking all, like this is exactly where I go right into next. If someone wanted to work with me and they wanted to, you know, get like one-on-one coaching or group coaching, that's where we would literally start. I would teach you the logic of how does that work? How do you write in a minor? What does that mean? And, you know, all that kind of stuff. So then there's no more like wondering what the hell. Okay. You know, so it's just going to be clear crystal. So what we're doing is we're going to go on the 6 chord, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to, you know, build a minor chord. So we got to do, go to find a minor third is actually 3. So 1, 2, 3, right? And then if we want the 5th, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got here, right? And then we got our 1 chord, 1 major, which is a C, and then we got our 4. We're gonna do it down here, right? So I just want to like play this for a second, and I want to share with you how this can sound better by doing inversions, right? But like, and there's
So
all these other cool tricks I can.
You were playing all that with inversions, like
Yeah.
So
and now
yes,
it's all the same chord, but just
just
inversions.
different versions.
What the
So
fuck?
C over G, yeah.
No
Those are all
way,
just
dude.
triads.
Well, you did. I noticed you snuck in.
I
like
stuck in
you
some
filled
little-
in. You filled in the triad there.
Yeah,
like,
so there's some tricks of what I wanted to show you my bonus.
or
Like
the
this is
inversion.
like,
I mean,
so hear this. I know I get too excited. I just get so fucking excited. Sorry,
Passionate.
guys.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's like I love this. Like, you know, I spent so much time. I spent 4 years putting this together. So this is the bonus tips. Like, how can we move from one chord to the next chord in a way that is musically satisfying and smooth and most efficient? Okay, and so that is by the use of inversions. What notes do each, like if you have a chord progression, what note, you got to ask yourself, what notes do these, if you want to move from whatever chord 1 to chord 2, what notes do those 2 chords have in common? Sometimes there's at least 1 note in common. Sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's none. But like, just to start thinking about this, if you're like producing music, you want to be consciously creating and you want to go like next level, these are some questions to sort of think about, and then I'm going to show you like some tips on how to like kind of deal with this type of situation. So just for example, if we just took C and F, they're both major triads, okay, from C, and this is an exercise called nearest inversions. So I'm just going, this is a challenge. I want to challenge you guys to, you know, play with it, produce it. But this is just an exercise. It's not music. It's just, they can make it music. I could show you how I would make it musical. But instead of playing, for, you know, C and jumping up to F, okay, and back and forth, we go what's called nearest inversion. From instead of going from C, jumping all the way up to this F chord, C is down here, right? Right? Right. I was trying to use my left hand. It sounds so dumb, right? So, but look, C, E, G, F, A, C. There's a C in common with the C chord, right? Right. Mm-hmm. So I could just keep that C here, and I'll just change this E and this G to the F and the A. Now an F over C, right? Right. That's F in its second inversion. That's the nearest possible inversion to C. Right? Instead of going, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Can you do one more, a couple more times? Just
yeah. So we're doing C, E, G, right?
C-E-G.
Instead of jumping all the way up to this F in root that's a root position, right? A normal way of just with the root of the note on the very bottom, right? So you have to jump so far, right? Versus, right? Now you got the root over here, and the third is up here on the top note. The fifth, the perfect fifth of the F chord is now on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So you can go. So now I can go, instead of starting at C root position, I can go, let's start at C in its first inversion with the E in the bottom note. So you go. We got the C here. Let's keep the C here. They have those 2 notes in common. Then just move these 2 notes up here. Right? Does that make sense? Those are called nearest inversions. And then we go, okay, we've got
you essentially turned to try. You went from a triad to an inversion, all in the major scale. So you're able to.
Yeah, all these inversions, all this is possible in the major scale. All you need to know these inversions and go from one chord to the next in the nearest inversion instead of always doing root position triads. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. But
Yeah.
you're playing a C inversion with an F inversion, or are you playing the same?
Right now, this is I started on C in root position, and so like that was our starting point. I just chose root position. I could choose an inversion as our starting point, right?
Yeah, because that's just a basic triad from root position, right?
Yeah.
It's not an inversion yet, but then you go into the inversion.
So, but the nearest
one
inversion for F, it's not a root position. It's definitely an inversion because I just keep that fucking C down there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So let's say we start this. We don't start on root position. We start C over E.
Yeah.
Okay? And now we got to go. The nearest inversion is actually F in root position. That's the least amount of movement.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So now, like, instead of starting C in root, we're like, no. We're gonna start somewhere else. We'll start on C inversion, C over E, C in first inversion. And then the nearest inversion for F happens to be, it just so happens to be root position. But
can't you do, if you go back to the original pattern, can't you just swing the C before, like, can't you just go like G, the G behind the C and keep your fingers on the C and the E? Or like, can you just do an inversion? Because it makes more sense that way.
From C?
Well, you had an inversion there, and you said the closest. Yeah, that one. If you keep your fingers on the E and the G, can you also do the C behind the E and just keep your fingers on this E and the G?
This is the C up here, and here's the C down here.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that doesn't work that way. Or the one. Okay.
Yeah. So like
the one down from the C4. Okay, that's not a C. That's an F. That's okay.
Yeah. So here's.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to see an example just to clear in my mind how it works. So thanks.
Yeah. No, this is great. So let's. Okay. So. Perfect, man. No, keep asking questions. This is good. So from C over E, the nearest one happens to be F in root position, right? Now let's do C over G. That C has to stay here, but the E has to move and this G has to move, but the C has to stay, okay? This C has to stay there, but this note and this note, they have to move up. So the G has to move to the third of the F, and then the E has to move to the root of F. The F is up top.
Nice.
Okay. So now. That's how you start sounding fucking like you know kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if we have enough time or whatever, but I'm curious to know in the future, like what all the different inversions like that you can do. You can do the first and the third.
Well, the first and the second. There's only 3 notes, so there's only 3 different orders. But like in a traditional sense, right? Right? So
like couldn't you put the G 1 octave up? Is that considered?
Oh yeah.
As well?
So I could go. So this is So or what I would do is I put this E up. That's actually a really beautiful way.
Right. So is it pretty much like limitless for the?
Yeah. There's no. This is what I mean. This gets like fucking. There's no limit.
Oh yeah, the inversion. Right? Good question, Ev. You can invert it in a high in.
So those are called
octaves.
Those are compound intervals that are beyond the octave. So
instead
of like doing a third down here, if you put the octave up, that becomes a what's called a 10th. And I get into this in my advanced course, but you're asking such great stuff.
Yeah, because I do this.
So
all the time.
instead
All
of
the
doing
time.
this, I could go put the E up here, right?
Right. Stuff
Right?
like that. Yeah.
It sounds more beautiful, right? So
Yeah.
it'd be like. So like with that chord progression we were doing was like 6 minor. That's me putting the thirds an octave up.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Right? But watch this. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna fucking blow your fucking minds right now. Okay. So now I'm gonna do leading inversions into each chord.
Holy shit, dude. I'm getting it, man. Like I see. Wow. Like I see the map. Starting to see it.
You know, I don't know if I see it yet.
When he adds the flare, it's way harder to see.
Anyways, like so
It's
see if I wanted to.
it's like you're seeing 3 and 3 and 4, right? 3 and 4 is like where he inverts it, and then you see that pattern, but then he adds a little spice on there, so that's why it throws it
That's
off.
one thing of like, or I can add. Watch this. So if I did like A minor, I can add what's called a 2. You see that B, that note there?
Yeah.
It's a major second, right?
Yeah.
So you can add major seconds to all these chords. Watch this.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm looking at right now.
Or just adding one note, adding what's called the 2. So it's like,
Dude,
this is like, it's gonna sound so beautiful. Like you guys are gonna be like,
dude, I feel like I'm the monkey in 2001 where they're first discovering tools.
But you're so talented already. Imagine like the exponential growth that you could have with your music.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying, man. If I can incorporate this, holy shit.
Well, I would be happy to coach you, man. Like this would be like a phenomenal, like it would just be
I'm
like.
in too. Can you run us through what the advanced courses, just like a trailer, like that kind of thing?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Like I was gonna just produce a beat. Instead, I thought I'd play it live and show you the chord symbols. You know what I'm saying? So I just chose that chord progression, right? A minor, right? Listen to how it sounds in just root positions, right?
Yeah.
Versus this. I'm adding like little approach chords and the nines, and I'm doing inversions. So approach chords, nines, and inversions. These are the bonuses that I wanted to add. I didn't have time to do visuals and make the charts and create the exercises for you guys to like do this. But this is what I would like if you're my actual student, I would get you to implement this and I'd get you to produce a piece of music to integrate specific concepts, and then I'd be like, and then I'd just go share your screen. I'd go look right into your doc, and I'd be like, what are you doing? Let's do a harmonic analysis of this. All right, let's check it out. What kind of inversions are you using? Are you adding these types of stuff? Okay, cool. How are you playing with the rhythms? That's a whole other thing. But that's what I would do. My advanced course is pretty hardcore. I mean, it jumps into some, you know, I have a whole course outline that I've created, all the problems that I solve, the solutions that I offer. the transformational benefits that are created with each of the processes that I teach, and all of the tools and the resources. I have a breakdown of that if that's something that you'd be interested in looking into. It's pretty in depth, and I'm adding to it because I'm continually evolving, but I'm also getting feedback, you know, from like what I wanted to do with this was to do a group coaching, get a whole bunch of people interested, and then maybe I could, you know, reduce the tuition for it if it was a group. But my one-on-one that's like, you know, that's the most, you know, kind of precious way to do it, in the most impactful, because then you get 100% of my undivided attention. And I would also be open to ghostwriting or co-producing, co-writing, and just working directly in on your tracks. And so then that's the cool part. And so that's the part I love the most, is to go, all right, so because the whole point is like everyone's got like music in them that needs to be heard by the world, but it's like, okay, but if you don't know what you don't fucking know, like you might have great producing chops like yourself. Sounds like you have very sophisticated use of the tech and probably have this innate sacred gift of music within you, but you might be lacking some of the language aspect, and there's all this kind of maybe guessing, and there's probably stagnation because you're probably doing some of the same stuff, probably like kind of over and over again, right? Which is, I understand, like, you know,
that's pretty much exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you have like such an ability on the technical and the production side, but if you could balance that out with the theoretical implementation of music harmony, and composition, then you would just go straight into the stratosphere. You probably just
right.
go to,
I don't know where what I'm doing the same chords all over again. I don't know what the names are, and you know, stuff like that.
So I got you. So this is what we did today. We talked about the language of music, did we not?
Yep.
We talked about the producer code, sort of the math of the intervals. We talked about the blueprint of the major scale. We looked at triads, what they're made of, our first 3D structures in music, and how to invert them, and then create take a chord progression. You could just pick any one of these top 10 chord progressions I provide you and just kind of fuck with it. Apply this knowledge and use the, you know, secret tip of the voice leading was using the inversions. But I have so many other bonuses and stuff that I would love to share, of course. For me, like I put this into a book. I'm happy to give it away totally free. And for those of you who are interested in a coaching, like a free coaching session to see if we might be a fit to work together, I'd like to I invite you to schedule that with me, reach out to me. And I just would get really clear on your, like where your true point A is at, what your vision is, like what are your challenges and your obstacles, what's getting in the way, and then how maybe my Epic Chords Mastery advanced course could probably just blow you right out of the water and take you to the next level. So that's the idea. So yeah, get you clarity on your vision, all that stuff, and a bag of chips. So yeah, like I forgot I had a price on here. I should have probably put all that, but I don't even know what that is. That's probably not, that doesn't even have any relevance to the exactness of
it's a secret code 375.
Yeah, it's like 369.
You're just trying to test us, right?
So that's,
you know what? No, dude, it was an augmented 369.
Yes,
Augmented.
Oh man, this has been great, you know, guys.
Now someone's trying to kiss the teacher's ass now. Like you're getting.
Well, yeah, please, you know, I'm just gonna pretty much just put it out there, guys. I haven't done one of these in over 2 years.
Sick.
And, you know, I have a lot more I want to add into this and flesh out even my beginner's course to add even more value to people. And I'm going to create that into a purely digital product that will be available to purchase, just have like video series on step-by-step exactly what to do. But, you know, I just want to invite you guys, if you might even know anyone who you feel would, you know, get value from this as well, to share, you know, my contact information, put them in touch with me. I'd love to I'm going to do more of these. I'm going to do a few more of these. I'm going to schedule one for next month as well, but I'm going to add to it. I want to kind of beef it up a little bit.
Awesome.
I'm definitely loving it.
Yeah, me too.
possibly we can talk about yeah, like doing some stuff together for sure. I'm in, man. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. Amazing,
Like,
man.
Yeah, me too. I'm in.
All right.
Let's do it.
Do you want to, like, what's you just want to run us through the advanced course, like more details? Like you said, I guess it's we'll talk to you on the 45-minute station, right? And then we can kind of go more into details.
Honestly, I don't even think I'm ready for the advanced course, dude, because that last stuff you're playing there, Sasha, the inversions, like that's
just where the rubber meets the road, and you got to spend time there. But
yeah,
you know,
I need to spend time there.
And that's sort of like, so then the next stage is called integration. You know, it's all implementation, integration. And so it's like, you know, when you look at the three main states of energy, there's stagnation, right? We all know what that looks like. A pond, there's no, you know, there's no movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if your blood doesn't circulate, what happens? Right?
You die.
If money doesn't flow through our, you know, fucking fiat fractional reserve fuckery, you know, right? Then we're screwed, because there's a complete implosion, right? So just like energy,
a money machine.
So if there's stagnation, the solution to stagnation is a circulation of new ideas, new energies, new choices, new concepts. And then once you have a new circulation happening, then it's all about the integration. So stagnation, circulation, and then integration.
Can we go over like popular songs, and then maybe we can what their chord progressions were,
exactly
like
so that? 100%. So actually this is kind of what I wanted to do, is like kind of have level 2 of this in a series at this particular level. And then this is what I'm realizing is I need to flesh out way more stuff at this type of like kind of level before even jumping in, like, but the stuff that I get into is like obviously unbelievable. It's freaking amazing. I love it. Here I can do this real quick. Let me see. There's course content, tier 1 outline. All right, so I'll do this, and so we can do this. If you guys are interested, I could stop recording now, or I could just do this. You know, this is the unlocking the matrix of music. This is my advanced course. If you want to see the sort of the idea here. Step 1, I broke it down into 5 steps. It's pretty hardcore, you know, really understanding key signatures, really understanding your major and minors, like how to understand the minors. And, you know, like most people don't know, you know, how to compose in different key signatures or in major or in minor. So I teach, you know, how to, you know, determine what notes are in each different key, major key or minor, relative minor key, how to find that. And then the transformational benefits, how do you feel confident being able to produce music in any key, major or minor, and not have to guess which pool of notes to use. I got all kinds of tools and resources, homework and challenges. It just goes on. Like step 2, we start, you know, creating and analyzing chord progressions. And this is determining the understanding of modes. And this is where you start to it gets pretty hardcore. This is university level stuff. Yeah.
Is there actual like printouts of this stuff?
Yeah, I've got like I usually give people all my slides, you know, like all the students that I record every session, and then I send you the recording if we do it remotely, right? Or if it's in person, then I just, you know, you take notes and I give you all the whole slide deck.
Yeah.
But I want to flesh this into just a big book, you know. In fact, I'm probably just gonna get like AI to help me out and flesh it all out, to be honest. And
Chat GPT,
it's just too much. And then I'll go through it and I'll add my linguistic wizardry, like, because I like to use metaphorical stuff that sounds fun, and the way I communicate is kind of, you know, I have my own style and I want my essence in there. But it's such a volume. It's as you can see, there's a lot here. Step 3, how to build 7 chords.
I was going to say, just careful with AI here, guys, because we're at the foothills of the matrix here. And we all know what AI did to us then, right?
Well, that's why I've got one foot in the natural world. I'm working with tribal people and, you know, like the off-grid community going on in the jungle. So,
yeah,
smart.
Got to cover both
you know,
areas.
Both worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
So this has been just absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, I don't want to bore you with all my advanced course stuff, but this is. I just want to thank you guys for showing up and being open
Thank
and
you,
willing
man.
to
Yeah, thank you.
participate in this. Is pretty awesome. Yeah, really stoked. So with
Yeah,
that,
That was awesome, man.
Really appreciate the invite.
yeah, thanks, Sasha.
Yeah.
We'll keep in touch, and we'll see when you got some free time. I'm down for the next class here.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
okay, well let's talk about let's schedule like a private little coaching call just to like assess clarity for next steps. How does that sound? So if you guys have my contact information, feel free to reach out and we can schedule something for next week. I'm in hustling mode. So I got a performance at the Pan Pacific Hotel on Sunday. So I've just been
Nice.
My first solo lounge piano gig in 3 years. So I'm just been
Wow.
I've been really
Nice.
I've been trying to work my ass off, just practicing a lot to get my
man, you're gonna crush it. Is it the Fazoli? Is it the Fazoli?
But yeah, you know what? I don't know if they do, but
it's a grand piano. It's a nice
dude. I would say like you don't have to get cocky or anything, but when you walk in there, I think you should throw up the double middle fingers, because you don't even need to practice, man. Just show up. You'll be good.
Yeah. Seriously.
just big chords, man. I could show you guys how to do that kind of stuff if you were interested.
Were you playing Let the Children Cry? Let the children cry.
I don't know. It's like a melody. I'm just improvising this, but it's like this is melody
it's
goes
from Coming to America, and Eddie Murphy's got the Soul Glow.
Oh, shut up.
Make it easy, yeah.
Oh yeah. Whitney Houston, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Whitney Houston song, yeah.
Dude, that's like the best music, and if I heard that at a Pan Pacific or whatever, you're pretty much getting laid that night, so whatever.
Maybe I'll stop the recording now.
No, continue it.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling, buddy.
Keep it rolling. Yeah. This is good.
That's awesome.
Oh wow, but no, this has just been really such a awesome experience for me to get back into the swing of things. Are you there?
I don't know.
We're here. Yeah, we're all here.
All right. I don't know what I did there, but something funky happened. Now I can see everyone largely. So this is great in a big way. Honor you, man. Happy birthday, brother. Johan has been speaking so highly of you, and it's obviously long overdue. Divine timing.
I played jazzercise for him also.
No way. What do you think of that, man? Is that awesome? I love that song.
You guys are so awesome, man. Yeah. Well,
jazzercise.
Maybe what I ought to do is really like take the feedback. I'd like to ask you guys each some questions. So if you wouldn't mind, give me positive, the positive feedback and the constructive feedback, anything, the ideas. I'm really open, and I kind of want to do a survey with other artists and musicians to find out more about where people are at, sort of things that they uniquely are looking for, or maybe have difficulties with. I want to do like a survey, like legit, like I want to survey a lot of different artists. So I'm happy to do that. Plus I kind of want to do other types of online events where, we could just take a look at, do a harmonic analysis of some, tune, and they kind of pick it apart, turn it into an exercise, get your chops up, recreate it, reproduce it in your own way. just chord progressions, you can't copyright them, right? They're, you know, but a melody you can. So, but we can steal any chord, you know. I call it R&D, not research and development. It's called rob and duplicate. You got to rob other people of what they know and duplicate it for yourself.
Dude, 100%.
And
100%.
R&D. And so this is what you got to do. This is what everyone and their dog does it. Like if you're a jazzer, you're robbing other people's licks, you're robbing other people's, all these famous composers like John Williams, he's robbing all these ancient Russian composers. And like, it just doesn't, like, it's everywhere. So
it's tradition to rip off the next person. It's like a beautiful tradition.
That sounds more pleasurable than an R&T, rub and tug.
You make your bite. You want the rubby tuggy or the chicken nuggy?
Yeah, I just had to say it.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
so funny.
So
oh, jeez. No rubby tuggy. Oh, just the chicky nuggy. Oh, you just want the chicky nuggy.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny, man. Yeah, you want special?
I'm pretty sure. Awesome. Oh yeah, you are recording. Okay.
I'm still. I'll have to cut this.
Oh shit! Edit.
Oh, it's so funny, but no worries. I can cut all that. It's funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, like you know, a lot of things clicked for me. Really, like it was so awesome to see you play live. That does it for me. Like when you show all of these different chord progressions and everything, but then you play it right after, that's when it clicks in my brain. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, it's nice. I still feel a little lost, to be honest. I feel like I need to relearn everything from the ground up, because the way I look at chords is like I look at numbers, man. Well, and I know when we were producing together, that was a little frustrating because I was so, you know, doing numbers, not really like sounds and progressions and stuff.
Yeah, like I see more patterns. Numbers and patterns, they go hand in hand. Like especially when you use the inversions, you see two spaces on one side, 3 on the other, and then 2 on the other, 3 on the other. Like it inverts, right? But yeah, man, like I think it's good just to refresh all of this, like just, you know, becoming a master piano player is like essential for live performance, and rather than being a, you know, like a true performer.
Well, it's kind of weird because I said to myself recently that I'm 100% in. I'm all in on the music thing. And then all of a sudden this course comes up. So it's like meant to be.
So yeah, just a lot of synchronicities in that area, you know.
Look at that fucking chord. Look at that one.
Holy shnikes.
Dude, that takes an octopus to play that.
Yeah.
Yep, I know. Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, is there a midget on the lower half of the camera, like playing along with you?
No. Hey, check out this cheesy chord progression. It's like that, kind of like, you know. Oh, yeah, that shit.
Wow.
Anyways.
You know what? I'm blown away. But if you can do the safety dance right now, then you definitely have my.
You can dance if you want to. You can dance.
Ding 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 diggity ding.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. You can dance if you want to. Hey, you can dance. This is a loud version.
Oh my god, this is so fun.
You can dance if you want to. Hey.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, that's lots of fun fun, man.
Yeah, this has been great.
Thanks for that.
Guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, please feel free to reach out to me. Are we friends on? Do we have each other's contact information there, Evan? I guess through Signal we could probably chat maybe then. Or...
Yeah, we're on Signal. We'll probably have to send me your number or something on Signal, and then I can add you there from there.
Sure. Now I'll text you my cell and email, and then if you want to add me on social on the socialist media platforms, if you're on them.
Yeah, Signal's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool, man.
And Liam, it's been really awesome. I really appreciate you, brother.
Hey man,
good
thanks.
meeting you, Liam.
Great.
Yeah, man.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Joanne.
And if you want in on these meetings too, you're welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Like, I mean, if all of us win in on it, probably save some money, I'm sure. Like, I don't know what he charges, but I know we'll
we'll chat on that on our coaching calls when we set something up, you guys and I. Like, I want to get a sense of you guys, and if you guys are open to it, I'd be willing to.
Yeah, we got a solid crew here, so might as well.
Yeah, maybe I'll run a couple of these, but just to get more irons in the fire. But I just absolutely I'm so glad I did this. Last night I was like, I'm not gonna do it, no one's gonna show up. and then I'm so glad I did it.
Well, yeah, I gotta thank Yo for letting me know about it, because this is exactly what I need to hear right now. So
it's perfect.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna zip to the how do you say? You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Bañero.
The bañero.
Speaking of level 20 wizard, I think we can all go for whiz here.
Nice. Well,
Nice.
guys, I'm gonna do how do you call it? I should probably stop recording this gosh darn thing, right?
Well, I have to go to the bañero so bad it's gonna smell like the mines of Moria when I'm done.
Oh,
oh snap!
Damn.
That's funny.
That's so geeky.
Hey guys.
All right,
guys.
Okay, later.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Adios.
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 Later.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.